Hi, I'm Valerie Lawrence. I'm a registered dietitian, and today I'm going to show you how to make gluten-free gravy. Normally gravy is made with meat drippings and flour and milk or cream, but we're going to be using chicken broth. You might be using turkey pan drippings, or you might be using prime rib drippings, or you could even use like better than bouillon if you're not using drippings at all. This is really good. It's 1 teaspoon per cup and tastes great. If you happen to have some chicken broth around in one of these Tetra Packs, this one is less sodium, which we're always looking for to, not overdo the sodium part of that. And then I am using a couple tablespoons of butter to make a slurry with what we're using instead of flour. So you could use tapioca flour. It's also known as tapioca starch. But today this is the first time I'm making it too. I'm using arrowroot powder. And arrowroot is an actual root, I think, from Polynesia. But I got it at Winco. So at Winco, very inexpensive. I want to say this is about 20 cents worth of arrowroot powder. And so I'm going to start with 2 cups of, this is either going to be broth or pan drippings that you've let sit for a minute, and then you can skim the fat off of the top. But I'm going to use this chicken broth. Okay, it's an experiment. So while that's doing what it does, I'm going to take this, the butter, because I am adding a little fat to it. It doesn't have any fat in it, and we will notice in the gravy if it doesn't. If you don't want to use the butter, you certainly don't have to, and you even could use a monounsaturated fat like olive oil if you wanted to, but up to you. Okay, so we'll do 1, 2, okay. And this is supposed to come to a boil, and when it does come to a boil, then I'll add my slurry in there. And you can do this with any, you could even use water if you wanted to be, vegan or oil free instead of using the butter. Oh, it's not time yet. Gotta wait for it to come to a boil. So now my gravy or my liquid is boiling, whatever you used for your liquid. And while it's cooling, then you add the slurry. And we'll see how this goes. And so far, so good. It's combining, and of course you don't want clumps in your gravy, so you just keep stirring until the little clumps go away. And I haven't used, like I said, I haven't used arrowroot powder before, and I can see it's thickening up fast as it cools down. I've used the tapioca starch before, and mainly the difference between using the flour, besides all of the gluten that's in it and all of the extra calories, the main difference is that you'll have a clear gravy with using the tapioca starch or the arrowroot powder, and then you get kind of an opaque, thick-looking gravy when you use flour. But this is good for all your guests, and they won't know the difference between it being gluten-free or not. They'll just know that they're eating gravy. And yeah, that did a really nice job. You can see that it's thick, and if you wanted it thicker, you could put another teaspoon of making more of a slurry. I see I have a little bit left in here, and I could stir that in, and then it gets a little bit thicker the more you go, but don't go too thick because then it'll turn into a gelatinous mess. But that's it. It looks good. That's gravy.